Hi guys, Carl here, one of the many hosts of Dice Pens and Sheets podcast or DPS. We are promoting tabletop games here in Bacolod City, and DPS podcast is our way to spread the love for TTRPGs. So please like and subscribe to support our channel. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys, we're back.
Yo.
It's time.
Yeah, it's time for your weekly tabletop RPG podcast. Yeah, so today we're gonna talk about Call of Cthulhu.
Yep.
Here with me is on my left side. You saw him last episode or one of the episodes here in DPS podcast. Yeah. So on my left side is RJ, and with us here is two of our friends.
Resident Game Master, specifically in D&D and COC.
CEOs.
Wow. Yo.
Yeah. So yeah, guys. I'm Carl. One of the hosts here. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, this is me, RJ, and I plan to be a recurring host here if my schedules would allow me. And here we got, two of our members here in the club. Introduce yourselves, please.
Yo, name's Ernesto, or call me DM Ernesto. Oh, shit.
DM Nesto.
Well, one of the dungeon masters for the game D&D and a player of COC.
And I'm Lorenz, the resident keeper of arcane lore for Call of Cthulhu.
Keeper of lore.
Lore.
Yeah, guys. Welcome to Dice Pens and Sheets podcast or DPS.
Glad to be here. Roll for sanity for meeting me.
Yeah. So for today's episode, I want to talk about aside from D&D, we also play Call of Cthulhu, which is COC or it's like how do you describe Call of Cthulhu? Like in your own words.
Call of Cthulhu is also a TTRPG like D&D, but the difference is it's mostly focused on real life, but with a twist from stories written by H.P. Lovecraft himself. It is also set in the 1920s. And compared to D&D, we don't use D20s for the main dice, but D100s.
Oh yeah.
Percentile dice.
Yeah, percentile dice.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know the percentile dice, it's composed of 1d10,
1d10.
and the
D100.
D100.
D100. 1d10. Oh,
Okay.
the tens or the
Tens and the hundreds, both.
tens. Okay.
You use both.
Yeah. So, what can you say about the COC here?
What do you mean by the COC here?
So far in your experience,
Experience.
experience being
keeper.
a keeper.
For
Running
for
games.
you players.
Yeah, running games for us.
Yeah.
New player.
Well, it's been fun so far.
So far, yeah, okay.
There's been notable fun experiences for me.
Like lighting up some unknown species. Who goes there?
That
Was there.
was your.
Well,
Yeah,
that
because
was fun.
Call of Cthulhu is actually more on a investigative kind of game. unlike D&D that it does more on action,
Yeah.
like developing the story. Well, there's also a lot of story development with Call of Cthulhu, though. Though for the players, or as we call them in Call of Cthulhu, it's investigators. And player characters are the ones for D&D, right? Yeah, and the threat of death is actually very high
Yeah.
when you play Call of Cthulhu, unlike D&D, because there's when you heal up, it would take for a days or a weeks
Yeah.
or sometimes even months just to get your HP back up,
Yeah,
unlike
get to
D&D.
that hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like D&D that you regain your health points if you go to sleep.
Yeah,
or
resting.
Or,
long rest, short rest.
or
Yeah, and compared to D&D, it's not like when you're a character if you're an investigator in COC, you don't expect that when you jump off a building, you expect to live or survive.
be like Iron Man landing.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
So Call of Cthulhu is more of like a realism.
Yeah.
Realism type. Yeah. Can you explain further like what's Call of Cthulhu all about?
Well, I mean, it mostly focuses on investigation because the characters there are investigators. There are also, but they're not only limited to just investigators. They have different occupations like what you see in real life, like they're
Janitor?
scientists, a janitor, a
Hobo.
doctor, a
Hobo.
professor, perhaps.
Hobo master race.
I know there's a hobo one trick amongst us right now, so not calling any names.
Hobo master race.
Hobo who became rich but still love pork and beans. Oh man, dude, it's a good job.
Aside from occupations, there are supernatural aspects in the game. Well, because it is based off of H.P. Lovecraft's stories. So if you are into the Cthulhu mythos and if you are familiar with it, you would expect meeting
Objects.
said
Horrors.
entities in this game if you're planning on playing.
And it's spooky and fun. Dude, you just have to use a flashlight and wonders will happen. Oh, sorry.
That's not a good idea.
That's not a good idea. I was lucky that time that I was not able to see what the thing that I flashed my flashlight with. And, well, Keeper is so good for now.
Lucky for you.
Yeah, at the mercy of the keeper.
Yeah, the mercy of the keeper.
Well, that's my first time playing.
Yeah. So, when did you heard about Call of Cthulhu?
Well, I heard about the game for a few years already, but I haven't really thought of actually playing the game yet. I started maybe June last year. I started to study about the game. I read the Keeper Guide, the Investigator Handbook, Quick Start Rules, and all that. I also tried one of their solo scenarios just to get a feel of how to actually play the game. And,
Yeah, I tried that.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah, it's good.
Alone Against the Flames, check it out.
Yeah. But if you're a aspiring keeper, I would suggest reading The Haunting. It's a good starting scenario for new players playing Call of Cthulhu. Even old players would be familiar with that and would probably enjoy playing that again.
I just want to insert The Hunting is a rite of passage if you would want
Yeah.
to play Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, the hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're new, you definitely need to try that.
So you're telling me that I have to do it?
Yeah, if you have free time. Well, I mean, we are currently tackling masks. I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
we have the...
he missed the.
Yeah, he missed the hunting scenario last time. So
Yes.
he wasn't there yet.
It's not a very available time for me because well, I have some.
Because last time he was like a shady guy.
Whoa,
No one trusts him.
No one trusts
He
him.
just joined the game and didn't introduce his character in the party, so everybody was suspicious of him. Who are you?
Who are you?
Uh, take off your clothes.
Turn around.
Turn around. Show us you don't have any weapons or any hidden shit.
Why do you suddenly have an apartment?
Well, I have an apartment. Oh.
Yeah,
Keeper
so
doesn't know that.
well, we're referring to our previous sessions about the. Yeah, so who inspired you like to get into this? Did you just pick it somewhere, or
Well,
did any like books, shows?
I actually was really interested in the Cthulhu mythos a few years back. So I just found out that there was a TTRPG for that when I was checking out D&D. But I focused on learning D&D first before actually picking up Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. Quick question. How long did you know like the COC? Is it like last year or is it
The game?
the game? Yeah.
Few years ago, but I just started learning how to play the game last year, and I just started being a keeper last year as well.
So how about you, Orge?
Yeah, well, first time I learned about Call of Cthulhu is way back when I was enjoying reading creepypastas over the internet. Yeah, well, I've enjoyed playing D&D or very interested in D&D, and it's just last year that I got to play with you guys to actually playing the game. So then yeah, going back, I got interested with Call of Cthulhu because I was reading some creepypastas, as I mentioned, and they have dealt with eldritch horrors and such. So that got me very interested. So I looked up online and discovered that there is actually a Call of Cthulhu game or TTRPG game, just like D&D. And yeah, from then on, I started reading some works, some short novels by H.P. Lovecraft. And well, the Cthulhu mythos is actually pioneered by H.P.
HP.
Lovecraft, and then most of the creatures or entities are actually a product of other authors. So
Yeah.
HP was actually very open with other authors, expanding the mythos. So, and that's what I really liked about it, and it's all creepy and stuff.
How about
That's right up your
you?
alley.
So yeah, how about you, DM?
Yes.
Honest.
Oh no. Anyway, I started as a player for D&D, then became a dungeon master, and I discovered this game Call of Cthulhu
Few weeks ago.
with these guys. Shut up, man. So because I heard stories from Bran regarding the Call of Cthulhu every Wednesday they are currently playing here, and it piqued my interest because he said that this game is different as it's not the same as D&D. So I thought of trying it out, and well, it was horror. I was not expecting because my first game I was playing as doing my actions are very newbie. So I was surprised that I should not do this. I should not do that. If I should not be alone and lock up my place because something bad will
Yeah.
happen.
Sorry. Actually, one of the tips like I noticed when you play like TTRPG, to give like excitement to the game. Sometimes like when you do like stupid stuff, like if you do like a mistake, it makes the scene more dramatic or intense because like it's not always like you have to do the right thing
Yeah.
just because others are pressuring
Yeah.
you to do the right
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Sometimes if you want like if out of your curiosity, like
Just want
if
to
you
do
want
that.
yeah, if you want like, oh, I want to go to this place because it I want to know like the story of that.
Yeah, you want to investigate.
Yeah, investigate like touch this box, open these things, whatever. Even though there's a clear sign that
Do not.
this is like
Red flags. Red
red
flags.
flag.
You
It's like
have to
this
do
like curse. There's curse like you when you look at like it's a pencil and there's a billboard like curse pencil.
And you would still touch it.
Do
Yeah,
not touch.
I mean like it's like a bad thing, right, for the
Yeah.
players, but
Yeah, but
but for the keeper, like for I mean,
it's
when a
entertaining.
DM or the keeper, I know the face of a keeper when the player fucks up something. I mean, yeah,
well, I mean, in reality, nobody's perfect. So
Yeah.
making mistakes here and there
Yeah,
are pretty normal
that's
for
why-
a game that's based on reality.
that's why you don't. Everybody's expectation is to like do the right thing, but actually, it's like it depends.
It depends on the
individual
Oh, yeah.
curiosity. Yeah.
Well, it's very fun if you play. Well, if you are beginner of COC, I really suggest that you try it out. Do not read any rules. Don't follow any rules. Come on, you are going to sacrifice the fun of the game if you don't do something stupid like lighting up some shady guy and lurking in the shadows. Ask the keeper if there's a flashlight and light it up and say who goes there.
You really
actually
like
wasn't
that.
expecting
Yeah.
He really likes that scene. You
Yeah.
know, that's the
That
most
was- that
memorable.
was the highlight. That was the highlight.
Yeah, the highlight of it.
That was the highlight of his COC career.
You can see a shadow looming over the building, and then he goes and gets a flashlight, shows the flashlight to the shadow,
And then
and shouts.
who goes?
Chubby
And then
chaps.
clearly the keeper describes there's like tentacles, like 10 tentacles behind. Whatever.
Well, because I want to see it.
No.
Oh,
Actually,
what?
you're peer pressured by me.
Not really, but I want
I
to.
can sense I actually sense the peer pressure that time.
Yeah, but my experience that time is that I really am curious what that thing is because
Yeah.
no one told me anything about.
It was his
this
first game.
And even if he didn't say anything like lighting up that I try to look at it or lighting up a flashlight on it, I'm still going to do it. And then when I did it, the face of the keeper is so magical. I did something wrong.
Well, it's not really
Well,
that.
that's
It's not
fun.
It's not
wrong,
wrong.
but I mean that's what's fun with the game because you tickle your curiosities and expect nothing bad happens.
Yeah,
But,
that's why I always tell like there's no right or wrong when it
Yeah.
comes to RPG. You just have to accept the consequence.
Yes.
And one of the consequence here in Call of Cthulhu is your characters are not permanent.
Yeah.
If you're used to D&D that you guys can be revived or like roll some death saves and then you get like unconscious only, even like within like 50 battles you died 49 times. you were stabbed, you were
The paladin puts a 1 point of lay on hands
Yeah.
on you, and then you're good to go again.
you were revived by a cleric or a paladin slaps you with revive.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. I
Yeah.
know that paladin.
So yeah, COC I think the usual or like the most like the common consequence is like death.
yeah.
Death.
And losing sanity.
Yeah,
that's almost-
losing
Yeah, that's
sanity.
the
You
one
can
thing
never forget the
that
sanity,
yeah.
Call of Cthulhu really got it. Got really well. I'm not sure if the right word is correct, but they really did very well with the sanity or
Yeah.
losing sanity points.
Yeah, the Call of Cthulhu also has a sanity mechanic where not only do you fear for your life, you also fear for losing sanity because there are several consequences for having little to none sanity for your character. Also add the fact that
39 sanity. 33 sanity. Woo!
also add the fact that your characters actually don't gain levels, so you don't expect that your character progresses further into the scenario and expect to actually be harder to kill. You're just a everybody is a normal human being in the game, so
Yeah, so what's can I ask? So Cthulhu and Lovecraft are sorry. HP Lovecraft is like the one who made all the Cthulhu mythos. Am I right?
well,
Or
not all, but he
He started it,
he started making stories about it.
so
And every other author who were also interested in this work also made some and added it to the universe.
um did you fully understand the Cthulhu mythos?
One does not fully understand the Cthulhu mythos.
Oh, so
Period.
One. Insert meme.
so the Cthulhu mythos is very vast, right?
Yeah.
Does COC have any like magic related stuff?
Yes. They have several magic related stuff though.
They
But
have spells.
that's the only type of magic you wouldn't want your hands on actually in the game.
Yeah,
well,
if-
unless you want to have fun.
Yeah, because if I recall correctly, if you used a magic, then there's something about the stats, or like your magic points.
Yeah, there's also magic points for that. But some spells also cost you sanity to be able to cast.
Yes, yeah. Because also if you there's a stat in Call of Cthulhu where your Cthulhu mythos, if you gain Cthulhu mythos, then that's a deduction of the same amount that you gain from your sanity,
Your maximum sanity.
your maximum sanity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you lose maximum sanity for that.
So we're talking if you guys heard, we're talking about insanity, sanity, death. Why are you guys interested in this kind of like game or tabletop?
It's hard.
Well, to put it simply, I am always interested with anything regarding the Cthulhu mythos.
Because I mean, sorry, we're talking about insanity and yeah, well, I know you really like HP Lovecraft, as you said, like the Cthulhu mythos, right? How can you keep the players love Call of Cthulhu?
Well, just making sure everyone gets hold of the spotlight in the game and not that kind of spotlight. Also, making sure that everyone also gets to investigate. Gets their part in the investigation. Everyone gets to be able to learn about the entire plot of a certain scenario. They also make sure that they get to experience the horror aspects of the game itself. So that's also fun.
I'm a big fan of horror, so that's why I also enjoy the playing the scenarios. So if D&D we call them campaigns, in COC we call them scenarios.
And I'm not a fan of horror, but I enjoyed playing it.
Well, I mean, if you're not a
Surprise.
fan of horror but a fan of investigations,
investigation.
puzzles and stuff,
Because
you would at least have something.
Because
you would
it
be
makes you want to if you are curious on something, that's what Carl said a while ago. If you are curious and if there's a sign that don't touch it, just or don't open this box, open it if you are so curious.
Don't read the Latin.
Don't read the signs. Just open the box and see what happens. If something happens, that's good.
The last time I opened a box, one NPC died.
And it
Well,
was
it
even
is-
a love interest. Oh.
Yeah. So, how much time do you need when playing Call of Cthulhu?
Well, probably the same as how D&D does with their sessions. Also depends on the length of scenario that I am running for them. There are certain long-running campaigns that would probably take a few months to probably a year.
A year.
Example being the one we're currently
Yeah.
running, which is Masks. But there are also one-shots where you can probably finish
3 to
in
4
one,
hours.
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours.
One
in
Yeah,
session.
maybe it depends on.
Yeah, depends on the
Or the
scenario.
progress of the players.
Also the progress of the players. I also make sure that they don't get derailed with their progress. I sometimes give them a little push so that they continue the investigation.
So, besides, you talk about horror in
Yeah.
COC, right?
Mm.
Usually, guys, when you play COC, it's always there. The horror,
Yeah.
like the keeper can say the scene is very gruesome. Like there's blood, there's like body parts
Yeah.
and everything from a child, a baby, to an old person. Now, all the horror shit
Yeah.
that can happen.
Shit.
the
Any horror
gruesome
aspect
shit.
you can imagine,
Yeah.
it's there.
With regards to that question, what's the most like over the top scene you describe to a player? Like, I mean, I know it's not always that you can describe
Yeah.
like a scene, right? You can always say like, oh, you saw this, but what's the over like the scene that
Well, I haven't really I haven't really described anything that's really over the top
Gory.
aside from just a pile of dead bodies somewhere in a
Ooh, yeah, the
in a
pyramid.
well.
In the pyramid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the pyramid. Yeah, well, aside from that, there's not really much going there.
Well, I've read a scenario because I actually have. I used to have plans to run a Call of Cthulhu campaign as well.
Yeah, so I can be a
So-
player finally.
yay?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, because our poor keeper here wants to get a chance.
Hey, like I want to try that, like Lorenz, the player,
Player.
and like I want to see how he investigates. Like,
Yeah.
Well, are you going to bully him? Oh, sorry.
I don't know, like
Make him experience what you're experiencing.
yeah. So what we're saying, Arch? Like,
Oh yeah, going back, there was a campaign that's really gruesome. I've mentioned it to Lorenz quite a few times. That, well, for me, I find it very interesting because aside from the gruesome part, there's like, it might be offensive because there's rape, dismemberment, and such. And yeah, well, for the casual players, it might not be that appealing to them. So, well, I guess if there are scenarios like those in D&D campaigns or Call of Cthulhu scenarios, I think it would depend, or it would be best for the DM or the keeper to just tone it down
Yeah.
and adjust for the players that he's with.
Yeah, which is why if I perhaps plan on running a scenario in Call of Cthulhu and I read a few scenes where I deem that it would be a bit offensive on some players. Beforehand, I would just ask my players if there's anything that would probably offend them and
Disclosure.
Disclosure
Yeah,
disclosure.
a disclosure agreement.
Like, is it okay to rape a this?
Do you agree? Click on the box.
Yeah, guys. In COC, so it's all about realism. Expect that don't expect. I mean, like it's not expected to every session or like a scenario that there's like a rape, there's a
Yeah.
murder and everything like that. You can just tell your keeper or DM, to like, oh, you don't like this, like that.
Yeah, you
just-
can always talk to the keeper if
Um,
there's something that that's offensive to you.
Yeah,
DMs
same
and
same
keepers
with
or
D&D as
Same
well,
with
right?
D&D and
For any
other
campaigns.
DDRPGs.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, like my advice is like, if you're not used to the murder or the crimes or whatever, for me, like, just try it out first. Let the keeper express what what it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
about the scene, because like also the keeper prepared for this scene, and then I know like you don't, some players don't like the scenes, the crime scenes and whatever, but just try it out first, and if you don't like how the keeper describes the scene, you can
You can always just talk to
Yeah.
them.
Just approach.
Yeah, just
the
approach.
the game master.
I mean, the scene is there already, so yeah, just try it out. There's always like always a scene in Call of Cthulhu like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not really fully dominated by just the gore scenes here
Yeah,
and there.
gore scenes, yeah.
I actually noticed that running several Cthulhu games now that it's mostly dominated by fully on investigation and other stuff you can do. Also, I would just like to point out that there may be guns in Call of Cthulhu, but you can't really rely on them 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's good against human
Yeah.
human NPCs or other investigators,
Yeah. I mean,
Wait a minute.
yeah,
That doesn't
but
sound right.
not for the horrors, for the other horrors that you're gonna encounter.
yeah, because we learned the hard way.
Yeah.
and
They learned the hard
They,
way.
they barely help. We have guns, we have dynamites, but they barely help.
I thought like packing 10 sticks of dynamite helps, but actually sometimes it helps.
But
Friends.
most other times, it barely does.
They're starting to question why I just allow them to pick up whatever guns they like. What's the keeper thinking? I think this would be easy now. We have several guns.
Yeah, that's what most keepers tend to do, I guess. They give you a false sense of security.
Yeah, that's the number one rule of thumb for us.
Yeah, and then because I've watched a video, I guess, that one of our favorite YouTubers explaining the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the advice for keepers is give your players hope, and then
Take
it all away.
Take it away from them.
take it all away from them.
That's what I did in one of your scenarios. Actually, remember that time when you guys finally get to call the police, and then when the cops arrived,
It's all
they got
over.
They got into a car accident.
It's like like the standard when you call the police always arrives.
They always arrive. They either arrive dead or they arrive late.
Very late, and then everything's over. What the
Yeah.
hell?
If they came like
Stereotypes.
not at the last part.
Yeah.
You'll be shocked. Oh, you're here.
Oh yeah, you're here. Great.
And the main character is all like bloody and stuff.
Well, just a quick question. Out of curiosity, as a DM, I'll prepare my campaigns like or base my campaigns on a specific stories or modules. For COC, how are you preparing this settings and story fonts and settings?
Well,
Campaigns.
the only scenarios I have run so far were already made published modules and scenarios that are already prepared for keepers who are planning on running a game. I actually was making a one shot by myself for in case I would someday run it for you guys. But so far I haven't really run any custom homebrew
Because we're still
scenarios.
running masks.
Yeah, we're still running masks. This will probably take
A
few
year
more
or
months.
two?
Yeah.
Or maybe if we get a chance to get a rest from mask and then just do a one shot
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want,
Yeah.
I can prepare that.
in between campaigns,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just to spice things up.
Quick question. The mask has already like a module, right?
Yeah, it's a hardcover book.
Yeah, hardcover book.
Which
How
I
many pages? 300 plus?
no 400 plus. I remember
Yeah.
400 plus.
400 plus, and we're on the 10th page.
Probably 100 plus.
100 plus. Yeah. Question. So it's in the module, right? Your the mask is about in the module. No module. Do you alter the module? The module.
Yeah, depending on how things turn out, I sometimes do some. What do you say? What do you call this? I improvise sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Improvise.
Yeah.
Improvise.
Adapt.
Adapt.
Overcome.
But you won't overcome this.
See, he's already giving us a clue that we're gonna die.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
To give you guys like another, like I don't know, a tip maybe, or actually it's not a tip. DAM Dungeon Masters and keepers are not your enemies actually.
Yeah, that's one of those
they are just like
misconceptions.
facilitators to run you the game and everything. It's not every day that the DM wants to kill you or the keeper wants to kill you.
That is also one of the things I would like to point out, that it's not really player versus the DM or the keeper. Both of you are actually playing the game, just in different sides.
Yeah, like, and also don't be a dick to your keeper or DM.
Oh my god.
Like
I strongly advise
He's asking
you to
for a
not.
bonus die.
We're not playing right now. You don't
No,
get a
yeah,
bonus
yeah.
die.
On one of our episodes, we talk about like the etiquette being a player. Just don't be a dick, because like the dungeon masters and the keeper poured like their time and effort.
Yeah, they worked hard for this.
Yeah, they work hard for the
They did it for you
the
guys.
scene,
They
yeah.
did it for you.
To make you enjoy, to make like an
Fun experience for the players.
We can't even play the game anymore.
I mean, it's hard for the keeper like to make on the spot scenario. Yeah, just don't be a dick to the other party members and to the keeper.
And enjoy the game. Be part of the story, and do some stupid stuffs. Oh,
See, stupid stuff.
oh, I'm sorry.
Also, I would like to add for players who wish to play Call of Cthulhu, but would still like to have the action focused action focused aspects of a TTRPG. There's a option for players and keepers to have, which is Pulp Cthulhu.
Yeah.
It's more action based compared to the classic, because in Pulp Cthulhu, it's not the players are
You're
called
not-
investigators. You are now called heroes.
Heroes.
Oh,
That is also one of the options that I would like to add soon to our games.
I didn't know that.
It
Want that?
would make your heroes OP. It would give you like other abilities.
Yeah, there's things called pulp talents.
Yeah, pop
So-
talents. Yeah.
I can make a character who can shoot laser beams using your eyes.
No, that's
Look out, master.
too far.
Well, just also aside from the players or the
as
heroes,
in, normal people
as
that
the
are,
heroes getting abilities,
Super strength.
the villains will also, or the evil guys will also get abilities.
Yeah.
As well as their minions.
Just balance.
Yeah.
It still balances things out.
It's
Super strength, please.
more deadlier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the characters are kind of stronger compared to the classic characters, but
Yeah.
also the entities out there are also
Yeah,
stronger.
your players are souped up, but the enemies are as well.
Yeah.
So it's just that you can take more
Yeah, that's
damage.
right,
It's like classic, but with extra steps.
Yeah.
It's more like that. It's just like playing D&D teamwork,
Yeah.
but sometimes teamwork doesn't really work all the time.
Yeah.
I
Guys, let's split up.
Right.
And when you say split up, you go alone. They go as a group.
Well, I mean,
I think
I don't discourage splitting up. I mean, it's that it's a
I mean-
tactic, sure.
I mean, like, I would disagree. Like,
If that's how you'd like to progress.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
yeah.
that's.
I don't discourage splitting
I
up.
mean, that's the thing. It's not always like you have to stick
yeah.
Together.
with your party. It's not always like that. When you're playing Call of Cthulhu, based on my experience playing with you guys, the way I observed, it's the story progress really slow if you
If you just
don't
stick together.
if you don't
it's
if
not
it-
always
if
a good idea.
if you don't cover all the areas.
Yeah.
That's why for me it's better like if you split, and I mean just be brave, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah,
Trust-
it's-
trust in your roles.
It's a risk everybody would be willing to
Trust
take,
your
I guess.
character. You created that character, dude.
Well, and also just on the setting of Call of Cthulhu, it's not just the Roaring 20s or the 1920s. Yeah, I believe there are other scenarios or
Yeah.
times, right?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are 1980s. There's also Dark Ages, which I would be
Yeah,
planning on running.
Dark
soon.
Ages.
Yeah.
One thing that I like is Cthulhu by Gaslight.
Yeah, Gaslight.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's really like a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot of
editions or
editions.
versions
Yeah,
of
World War.
There's also post-apocalyptic.
You want
futuristic.
you want to fight zombie Nazis?
There's modern for everybody
Yeah.
who
Zombie.
wants to investigate by using computers now.
Yeah, but so if you're a newbie, what do you suggest like the edition to start off?
Well, you start off with classic, of course. I mean, it's the best one to
Yeah, best one.
try out as a newbie, and also the hunting scenario, which is the rite of passage
The
for
rite
new
of
players,
passage.
is set in that time. So
We're at we're at 7th edition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seventh
so
edition. Seventh edition is done.
I
Oh,
was
you mean-
about to ask
Okay.
that. Just like D&D, in D&D there's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth edition. So
Five.
right now we're in 5E.
Yeah.
5e.
Fifth edition.
For Call of Cthulhu, it's
is-
7th edition.
yeah. So,
So did you start at 7th edition?
Yeah, I started
Were
with the
you
7th.
able to try out other editions?
I learned about the other editions, but I only ran 7th.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's the latest one, so I had to.
so in your opinion, guys, because yeah, we played the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu. I mean, what's based on what you
Learn.
heard or learn, or what's the best edition for you? Like the player friendly.
Edition.
Yeah, in my opinion, I believe the 7th edition,
7th edition.
since it's the newest one or the most recent one, and I think it's the more beginner friendly.
Yeah, they actually noted out that
Right.
they really did a lot on 7th.
Yeah, in 7th edition. Because, well, if you'd like to run previous edition scenarios, they do have a formula that's quite easy to
Yeah, there's a conversion.
convert, right?
And yeah,
for
the
7th
7th is conversion is really friendly when it comes to
Yes.
conversions. They have tables for that.
Yeah. So, well, that's just me. I've never really played either the previous editions,
Yeah, see.
but yeah, for 7th one, I think it's really a good system.
But for those who tried out other editions, you might as well give your insights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Write in comments below.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to wrap all this up, we've covered like what COC, who like started COC. It's H.P. Lovecraft, and he has books, right?
Well, it's not really HP started COC. COC or Call of Cthulhu is just one of the one of the short novels.
Yeah, short novels.
Yeah. Well,
Suggestions to an
I mean,
author?
I guess like HP is like I think the most famous one. I guess.
well, I mean, he's the one who started.
He started.
He started,
Yeah, he started the
yeah.
mythos.
Yeah.
Apparently, it came to his dreams,
Oh yeah.
and then he wrote them.
Yeah, I read about that. Like
Yeah.
actually, like can you consider COC or Call of Cthulhu like a space type or out of this world? Like
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty much
That's
what
where
most of the entities
came from.
so.
More than
Let's differentiate them from. Are they like demons, like from hell, or are they like out of this world,
Where
like
they
aliens? Are they aliens?
Yeah, they're more like aliens.
Yes,
But
yeah.
so cultists or people on Earth really don't understand the concept of where they
Aliens.
really come from. There's some just make cults and think they're probably other entities.
So they're not like they don't believe in heaven or hell. Is that it? What do you think, guys?
Yeah, and this
Can you put them like
I think-
heaven or
Yeah,
No,
problem.
because when the elder gods rise, then I believe there's just only pretty much hell on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a representation of hell on earth once the
Yeah.
elder gods rise. But for this, for Call of Cthulhu,
It's more on like aliens.
and
Yes.
end of times by other
so
other gods.
So far as what I check out about regarding stories and articles regarding Call of Cthulhu, it's more like that. This entities, this Cthulhu thingy is more like alien extraterrestrial beings, because that's why their cultists like just worship this because
Yeah.
they are different because they are higher
they're
being,
different.
but they are more like not from the earth.
Yeah, because they can't explain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they treat them as like as gods or
Yeah.
Because I was surprised that when out of my curiosity I tried checking it out, and Cthulhu, this Cthulhu thing is, man, it's alien.
aliens.
Well, actually, like I heard my first time I heard about Cthulhu, I always think about this elephant with octopus tentacles with wings.
Well, you're right about the tentacles and
Yeah.
the wings. Well, I'm not sure about the elephant.
I
Yeah.
no
As described.
elephant.
It's like
I thought
yeah,
they
yeah.
have
as
long.
described.
I think like because he's
Nose?
he's
No,
like
he has
huge.
tentacles.
He's like huge and then with octopus tentacles.
Yeah, he's
As-
a big boy.
Yeah,
He's a big boy.
as Lorenz and I have read it, he's supposed to look like a combination between an octopus, a dragon, and a man.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hence
So
the
for
wings.
reading recommendations, you can read the short novel Call of
Call
Cthulhu.
of Cthulhu. Sure, there's a lot of his works online. You want to just check it out if you're
Yeah.
interested.
So, there's a lot to talk about Call of Cthulhu. There's really a lot. We can't cover all this in just one video or one sitting.
Yeah, we'd lose sanity if we do that.
I mean, like, what are the things needed to start playing the game?
Well, if you were planning on starting as a player, you only need to probably read the quick start rules,
Yeah.
investigator's handbook, and after that, you just need a character sheet, pen, and a pencil and eraser.
Yeah,
and
you
you're good to go.
can order if you really want to get into it. You can order the books, but for the quick start rules, there you can download them for free as well as
Yeah.
the character
Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah, you can check the publisher's website, which is Chaosium.
Chaosium.
Yeah, you can check them out. They have free copies for some. You would still have to buy the box, of course.
Yeah.
if the new guys wants to play a one shot with you, are you like available? Or
The way you said available sounds. It sounds so weird, man. But what Carl said.
Well, if there are anyone there who wants to try Call of Cthulhu, if the stars align and I am available,
I see what you did there, bro.
I can run a game for them, I guess.
And maybe because I was not able to get the initiation part of the COC
The guy has to-
hunting.
the guy has
so
to
I
run-
still have to play it.
The guy has to play the hunting by himself. Huh?
The rite
Yeah.
of passage.
Yeah.
The rite of
play it
passage.
alone.
So if you want to join me, come on. If you're in Bacal area,
This guy needs friends.
By the way, Carl,
I'm gonna
for the next podcast, what would be our next topics?
I guess we're gonna talk about like the things needed, like the
Yeah,
dice,
books,
the books, modules, like
Nice.
things that you need before
Start
you
playing.
yeah, before you can start like a
TV.
tabletop. But I wanted like first like introduce the game, like what we play first, and then move on to the books, like the merchandise or the things like a player or a new player
Yeah.
needs.
Some recommendations for that they need, or some
And-
tips, general tips, I guess.
general-
Yeah, I
tips
mean,
for
yeah.
role-playing,
What's your like? What's your number one tip
For
like any player who wants to play the COC? Like your personal tip. Can
well,
you-
I mean, in relation to creating a character, if you don't have much of an idea as to what background or backstory you would want to add to your character, I mean, it's a realistic. It's more on realist. The game is more on realism, so why not just try out self-inserting?
Yeah.
For the previous video.
Yourself.
Yeah.
If you're a student, then be a student.
Yeah, I guess.
For my number one tip, if don't be afraid to sacrifice your friends inside the game. Yeah, like if you're being chased by another
yeah.
horror, don't be afraid to trip them so that you could get more time
Yeah,
to
there's
save
no-
yourself.
There's no such things as alignments here,
But-
so
But
do
yeah,
whatever.
but I guess that would count as being a dick. So
Yeah.
never mind.
And one more thing, if you are so fond of your of the numbers, stop thinking about numbers. What I meant is the stats. If, for example, if you have very low driving skills, try driving a car.
Yeah, there's a very low chance of succeeding, but if you do, there's a chance
Yeah, I
of
guess
an improvement.
that's a risky one. Take if you would probably succeed. There's a chance that you would improve because
High risk, high reward.
I would just like to add a little bit about this. As for occupations, every occupation has a different. What do you say? Some occupations are good at something, some are bad at it. For
Skill
example, an
distribution.
artist would be good at stuff related to art. They could draw fast. Others
Acting.
not. Yeah.
So to wrap this up, guys, I think we covered.
Quite a lot.
We cannot covered.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
already
Well,
covered
there's
a lot,
still-
and
yeah.
we still
We're just,
will barely
still a lot.
We just want to like
cover
put it out
stuff.
there, like
Yeah.
play COC and come here at Alonce, join us. Like we have like
Usually play Cthulhu Wednesdays.
yeah, we
most
play
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays, and if you're free, you can just come by, maybe like watch or I don't
or
know.
if I'm free, perhaps I can run.
Yeah, you can
one-shots.
one shots.
Well, Alonso is our official hangout place.
Yeah, join our group on
Come on.
Facebook so that we can add you in our chat. And yeah, maybe as Lorenz mentioned, if the stars align, yeah, they can. Oh wait, we have a visitor.
We have a visitor.
Oh, somebody's late.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can join our Facebook group, and you can add you in chat, and maybe you can arrange some campaigns for
Facebook,
the
Yeah,
group.
we can set up a schedule for you if you want
Well,
to play one shots.
Dungeon.
Yeah, that's
Actually, you can find Alonsi
Yeah.
Facebook page.
His fan page.
If you want, you can also join Dungeons Dragons Facebook page, but
yeah. We'll add the links down below.
well,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not that good yet. Anyways, yeah, just
Press that
try to
like
find
button.
Alonsi board
Board Game Cafe.
board game cafe in
Yes.
Facebook, and then
Or you can go here.
Yeah,
just
go
across
here
from-
in front of Sineco,
Sineco.
across besides City Appliances.
Which, if you are in Bacolod area or in Negros area,
You can visit your house.
Alansi is located
Granada.
in front of Sineco, and
That's what we just said.
yeah.
They just
And-
said that.
Yeah.
Okay na.
That's it.
Okay na.
No, still haven't
Oh,
slept
okay
yet.
na.
Calm down.
Yeah. So guys, that's it.
Well, that's all for today. The camera shaking.
Oh.
Ignore the camera shaking.
it's not. It's not happening like earthquake or nothing.
Well,
Okay, whatever.
See you next episode.
Yeah,
Mama.
see
See you next
you.
episode.
Just stay tuned, like and subscribe. Thanks, Lorenz. Thanks, Nesto. Thanks, RJ.
Glad
Thanks,
to be
everyone here. Yeah. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.